revealing the twisted tale of danger and deception, a predator in uniform, a disastrous chain of events. Brace yourself for a terrifying story of betrayal and the destructive consequences that followed. Prepare to discover the dark side of acclaimed protectors in our gripping narrative. On November 25, 2022, a disturbing incident was revealed in a quiet Riverside, California neighborhood. A 15-year-old girl was seen looking frightened as she was led away by a scary-looking man wearing a trench coat and a mask. The man seemed too old to be her friend and had parked his car in the family's driveway before entering the girl's house. When they appeared from the house, the girl seemed dirty and upset, silently requesting help from her neighbor. The neighbor quickly took note of the man's car's license plate number and description. To their horror, they realized that the girl's house was set on fire as they were leaving. The fire department rushed to the scene and found 3 dead adults bound and suppressed inside the house. The owner of the car's license plate was identified as Austin Lee Edwards, who was 28 years old at the time. Information about Austin's past revealed that he was born and raised in Richmond, Virginia, where he attended high school and worked at Walmart. Austin's passion for video games and Comic-Con events led him to work as a police officer for the Virginia State Police in Henrico County, a surprising career choice. In July 2021, he started training to become a police officer and successfully completed his training by January 2022, passing all the necessary background checks. However, the shocking incident in Riverside revealed a dark and evil side to Austin, leaving everyone stunned by the sudden turn of events. In October 2022, Austin, a 28-year-old deputy state trooper who had just joined the sheriff's office, decided to quit his job with the Virginia State Police after only 3 weeks. He was then assigned to patrol in Washington County, Virginia, where he displayed dedication and a strong work ethic. During this time, Austin engaged in conversations with a 15-year-old girl online. He portrayed himself as a 17-year-old boy, and it is uncertain what images he used to present his life. The girl, who resided in California, believed she was talking with someone her age or slightly older, and she didn't find it unusual, as this was how kids typically interacted online. They talked through phone calls, text messages, and played games together. Some of Austin's friends were aware that he had an online girlfriend who was a few years younger, but they were unaware of her actual age. It was during their conversations that Austin gained the girl's trust and got personal information about her, including her place of residence. At some point, Austin asked the girl to send him explicit photos. However, when they switched places, meaning she asked him to send explicit photos in return, she ceased contact with him. This marked the turning point in their relationship. In October 2014, a 13-year-old girl confronted Austin, then 20, on the website Omegle. Their conversations escalated to him pressuring her for explicit photos, even after knowing her age. The girl saved around 4,000 messages as proof of Austin's persistent requests. He also engaged in graphic activities on camera and tried to coerce her into removing her clothes. Furthermore, she mentioned his negative remarks about people from different groups in a message exchange. Austin acknowledged knowing the age of the girl he was communicating with on November 6, 2014. Austin mentioned going trick-or-treating and claimed to be 20 years old. The girl responded that she was 13. Over time, Austin referred to the teenager as his girlfriend and persistently requested explicit photos from her, using threats to coerce her into complying. The girl found his behavior alarming and noted that he would boast about his collection of knives and hatchets during their phone conversations. On February 6, 2016, Austin and his father, Christopher, watched the Super Bowl together after having a couple of beers each. Later, Austin locked himself in the bathroom and showed the girl a self-inflicted injury through the phone. Christopher called 911 for help, and when the ambulance arrived, Austin's behavior became erratic due to his hand injury. He was taken to a mental hospital for specialized care. Christopher believed that Austin's angry behavior stemmed from relationship issues, particularly his recent breakup with his girlfriend. Despite being briefly locked up, Austin was soon released. However, he continued to emotionally manipulate his underage ex-girlfriend, making disturbing self-harm plans and threatening her if she didn't comply with his wishes. Over 2 years, they messaged each other on and off, leading the girl to block Austin on Facebook. Nonetheless, he persisted by using different profiles and remained unaware of her real name. The woman who knew Austin was not surprised by his violent actions, as she was aware of his dread behavior. She couldn't understand how someone with severe mental health problems could become a police officer, but the background checks and psychological tests conducted by the Virginia State Police in the Washington County Sheriff's Office did not raise any red flags. Some speculated that mistakes might have occurred during the background checks, allowing Austin to secure the job. Austin manipulated the young girl, making promises of a future together, and even bought a house in Virginia, which raised suspicions due to his peculiar behavior, such as covering all the windows with shades and curtains. The seller found it strange that Austin was especially interested in the basement and provided a video upon request. In summary, the case involved a manipulative police officer, Austin, whose troubled relationships and questionable mental health led to violent actions. As for the victims, Mark Winnick, a well-liked teacher known for his kindness and humility, lived in the house with his wife, Sherry Winnick, a warm and caring person with a love for baking and family gatherings. Their daughter, Brooke, was a devoted single mom who took good care of her teenage daughter. The family was known for being very close-knit. The situation took a dark turn when Austin asked the young girl for explicit photos, and she refused, leading her to cut off contact with him. This rejection triggered a violent and angry response from Austin, similar to an incident in 2016. He couldn't accept the end of their online relationship and went to extreme lengths, driving around 2,600 miles from Virginia to California in about 40 hours. It's alarming that Austin's car was spotted in the neighborhood up to 2 weeks before the attack. This behavior suggests he may have been scouting the area before carrying out his plan. The family appeared to have a normal Thanksgiving before this tragic event occurred. On that fateful day, Michelle and her husband innocently came over to make brownies, unaware of the impending danger. Little did they know that it would be the last time they would see their parents and sister. The following day, while shopping for Christmas lights, Michelle received a call from their neighbor. The neighbor informed her that Austin, a state trooper, had parked his car in front of their garage and was questionably watching their house. When confronted by the neighbor, Austin apologized and drove away. However, he later returned wearing a mask and a trench coat, concealing his identity. Austin broke into the house and restrained Mark, Sherry, and the 15-year-old girl before subjecting them to unbelievable cruelty and eventually taking their lives. A concerned neighbor noticed a strange car and a distressed young girl. Despite calling for help, it took time for the police to be alerted. Eventually, the police found the house on fire and, after extinguishing it, discovered the bodies of several family members. Authorities issued a public alert for Austin's car and later found him driving with the girl. A police chase followed, ending in a shootout where Austin shot at the police and then himself. The 15-year-old girl was taken into custody and received care from pain specialists, as she had experienced immense loss, losing her mother and grandparents. Michelle later expressed her grief, stating that the tragic deaths of her father, mother, and sister were a result of an inappropriate online relationship between a predator and a child. From the depths of darkness to the strength of the human spirit, this harrowing tale serves as a reminder of the importance of caution and the lasting impact of tragedy.